G'day and welcome to the grand final edition of the MCDFNL Netball Show. My name's Yeendy, I'm joined by Kim Bailey, and we've reached the pinnacle of a big day this Saturday, and what an exciting week it certainly has been across the competition.
Yeah, we're finally here. We're finally at the big dance, as they call it, so we're really looking forward to a great day on Saturday at Princess Park.
Now, we did have a fantastic award tonight before we start talking games. On Monday night, the Berry Power Medal, we had some great winners out there, and a deserved winner in the netball too.
Yeah, and that went to Denali's Ash Leverage, now on 28 votes, and apparently it's her third time that she's won it. If I'm trying to remember, I think they said 2009, so it's a little bit before my time. She must have been a baby. And 2012, I think. So I apologise if that's not correct, but I think that's what PT said the other night. But if that's the case, that's fantastic, you know, and she's really learned a bit of legend status within this league of being one of the elite. So 28 votes. Young gun Maddie Egan from Avoca was 21 votes, and Maddie's had a sensational season. We seem to talk about her all the time, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
And third was Caroline McKay on 20 from Harcourt. Harcourt had a pretty good night, actually, didn't they?
They certainly did.
And in B grade, well, Susie Rinaldi, how many of these things can you win? You just keep winning and winning and winning, and it just shows you what a champion player you are. B grade BNF, 32 votes. Runner-up was Tamara Brand from Lexington on 25, and nipping at her heels was Trudy Manning from Rovers on 24 votes. So well done, ladies. And C grade winner was Hayley Pritchard from Harcourt on 25 votes. And we had, it was really close, this count. This was probably one of the most exciting ones of the night, wasn't it? Colleen Drummond, another legend of our competition, over 400 games from Avoca, and Charlene Dowling from Trentham on 24 votes, equal runner-up. So well done, ladies. And then we had the Rookie of the Year award, and there was great nominees as well. We had Kelsey Long from Natty, Shelby Farrell from Harcourt, Maddie Egan from Avoca, Madeline Hall from Denali. Who else have we got there? Emily Cooper from Newstead, Lydia Jordan from Talbot, Tasman Dicker from Trentham, Mare Jens from Navarre, Cara Eastwood from Lexington, and Elise Mottram from Carisbrook. And the winner was?
Tamsin Dicker from Trentham. Yeah,
so she's a great young player, great young defender, and been instrumental in their rise to the top of the ladder. And my favourite award, the Funky Fitness Netball of the Year award. And again, it was pretty close, and we had, the winner was Jane O'Donoghue from Trentham on 32 votes. So it was close she won it by 32 votes to 17, to tell you the truth, so it wasn't close. But the second, there was two runners-up, so Caitlin Cutlak from Malden and Julie Anderson from Rovers on 17. So congratulations to all those winners. It was a great night.
Simply sensational. And let's talk about Harcourt having a good night. Trentham did as well, because they also took out the Rookie of the Year in the football as well with Jade Keogh. So their future is looking bright over there as they're getting ready to take on a grand final. But they had to beat determined Carisbrook to get the job done.
Yeah, look, they did, and they most probably won the game in the second quarter, where it was 12 goals to 10, and they sort of couldn't peg the lead back, and then in the last quarter they took off again. So there was 5 goals in it, and then Carisbrook brought it back to 3 at three-quarter time, and then they just went on from there. So, Jane O'Donoghue, goodness gracious, 96%, girl after my own heart. Shara Ford was down on 43%. She's got to get that, that's got to rise. In the grand final, you've got to have that up. And she's a young kid, and, lots of pressure applied to her, but you just got to shoot better than that. Tamsin Dicker, there we go, had another great game. And Christy Parks as well. Christy Parks. In that defensive line, spanned really well. Erin Richardson is such a great player in that team and a great leader. I think we're going to hear from her a bit later.
Yeah, we will, especially some gossip as well, which will be fantastic.
Oh, you like a bit of gossip, that's all right. And Paige McLean shot at 80% as well. Look, we said Sheridan Byrne would be instrumental in this game, and she had a cracker. She had a great game, and it most probably reflected the pressure that she applied in Shana's stats. But I think, Shana will step up. But congratulations to Carisbrook. I think they've got a really bright future, and it was, be very proud of their season.
Definitely right there. Congratulations to them. And the Saints, they head through into the grand final undefeated. They take on a red-hot Maryborough Rovers side who had a tough game and an entertaining contest against Avoca, who we've highlighted to be one of the sleepers of the competition at the business end of the season. Yeah,
3 goals, that's all was in it. And Avoca led right up to three-quarter time and then just got rolled in the last quarter with a big last quarter from Rovers. It was a 14-10, and they just put the foot down, and Maddie Egan shot at 78%, so maybe slightly a little bit down, but Maddie Davis again just had a magic game, and she's just such a lovely player. I don't think I'm going to do as good as Deb, but Nanise Vakawaka.
Yep.
How's that?
We'll stick with
Deb
that.
Deb did a really good job the other night, didn't she? And but this is what I like about Rovers, that they share the load, and we spoke about that last week. 29 goals from Nanise and Jackie Featherston at 18. Percentages were down 75. You like maybe another 5%.
But we've seen that between the pair for most of the year. That Nanise has been the star goal shooter, but to have that teamwork there with Jackie has been fantastic, and they've been able to share the workload. Probably almost better than your goal shooter in across most teams.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the 29 and 18 spread there. Yeah. You don't expect your goal attack to outshoot your shooter, so it's still a pretty good return.
Good teamwork.
Yeah, so you'd be happy with that. Beth Fitzpatrick had a really good game as well, and just fed the ball in beautifully. So, disappointing for Avoca. I think they've let themselves down because they had the game. They did. It's disappointing for them to look at and think, oh God, it's one that's got away, really. But maybe Maddie Egan 34 and Stacey Blair at 10. Maybe that needed to just be shared up a little bit. But Stacey Blair still played really well and had moved the ball around. But first and second, they're in the granny.
Yep, sets up a massive contest, and we had the privilege at the Berry Powell Best and Fairest night to catch up with Erin Richardson, the Saints coach, and here's some of what she had to say. We have got the playing coach over here at Trentham. We've got a massive game this weekend. Thanks for joining us. How are you feeling about it?
Feeling pretty nervous about it, considering I watched the Avoca Rovers match on Sunday. It was very close, and the Rovers have got an inclusion in their defence that we didn't play against during the year, and that's in Jane, who I've actually played against in another league. So look, their defence is really strong, so we just really have to be at our best to beat them.
Now, you guys have just had an amazing season. How do you go about just having everything that you've had? Because I think you lost the grand final last year against a team that was just in top form. What did you sort of say to the girls after that performance, and how it sort of set you up for 2017?
Look, I think the Navarre team were very experienced in the finals, obviously. That was their third grand final win. Fourth grand final win, and we were new to finals, so we weren't that disappointed in how we played. We just knew that they were probably a stronger team on the day. This year round, we've got Jane back into shooter because she did her ACL against Navarre last year in round 5. So we pretty much have kept the same team, and we're pretty stable with the inclusions of Jane back in. But we've had some ins and outs with pregnancies and broken arms. So finally, we've got everyone back together for the grand final. So we should be able to bring it together.
I guess one of the hardest things to do in a season is to go through undefeated, which you guys have done so far to date. Was it some pressure that you sort of felt, or you finish one game and you treat another game just completely new and fresh?
I don't think we feel any pressure to win our games. We just go about it what we do best, and that's trying to use our speed because we're not a very tall team. So no, it's just game by game. I didn't expect to go undefeated, but that's just the way it goes. We weren't going to lose one just so that we weren't undefeated. It's always never good luck, but that's just the way it worked out.
One of the things, the upsides to the club is that you've been blessed with such great young players coming through. Tell us about some of the young stars you've had come through and really start to establish themselves in the team.
Yeah, I'm really a strong believer in bringing up the juniors. I don't think that you should be in A grade just because of your age or because you've played there before. It's really due on merit. And we've got 3 young players that are all 16 playing key positions in the team, and they hold their positions and they will play on the weekend. So it's just purely done on their skill and performance. And everyone, there's 9 girls in the team all fighting for a position, and they all know that.
Your experience in netball is just phenomenal, and you're getting better with age, from what I've been told, which is fantastic. How are you enjoying your netball at this stage of your career?
I had a bit of a setback in interleague. I broke my arm in interleague, so I've had to take 8 weeks off, and that's really had a toll on because it's hard to recover when you're older. So, for the record, if we win, I will retire.
That is locked in stone.
That's what my husband wants to say.
We've heard that many times before. No doubt you'll be running around again next year. I can just feel it.
Yeah, we just call me the John Farnham of netball. I just never keep going away.
Now you've faced Maryborough this year. What are some of the keys to their team that you'll be sort of looking at?
Obviously, Nancy in goal shooter. She's very strong. Maddie Davis and Jane in defence. You know, they're really athletic girls, so we really have to be keeping up our pace and being really spot on with our passes and not making any little mistakes. So it's going to be close, I know.
Fantastic. And obviously you've got some good talent in the team there. Who would be your X factor? Who is going to be the one that gets you over the line when things get really tough in the game?
Could be anybody, really. It really could be anyone. Our young goal attack, Shana, who's so composed for a teenager, in at the final series so far, she's just pulled out some brilliant plays, so you never know from her. Hopefully Jane will shoot over 90% like she normally does, and it's just for everybody else to be on their game. And we've got lots of depth in defence, so we can move that around to try and suit who can match up with who.
Now, how important would this win mean to the Trentham community should you guys get up on the weekend?
The senior coach just said to me, I'd be making history. So that kind of makes me a little nervous. The Trentham supporters come out in numbers, and I think they support you win, lose or draw. And I think it would mean a lot, and I think it would just really reward the club for backing me.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck for the big weekend, and congratulations on reaching the grand final, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Well, the goss on that one, Kim, and I know plenty of people have said this many times. She says that after this game she's retired. I don't buy it for a second. I think she's going to be back next year in some capacity. She says it's going to be her final game as coach, as player, but I don't know. That's
you're out of the game too long to give up before your time.
Yep.
You are. You are. You know, believe me. You know, and you miss it. But you know, she might be a girl that most probably a bit like me. You know, I love playing, but coaching is my passion, and I love it. She might be like that. Who knows? But she's a fantastic player, and I really don't want to see her leave.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on Saturday after what happens.
If you have a win, you're like, yeah, let's go again. If you have a loss, sometimes it's like, I'll keep going just to try and get that win. So either way, come back. Especially
with the list that they've got as Trentham, they're in their second consecutive grand final. I guess that the preparation of this one started last year when they went down to Navarre in a pretty good contest. We saw the Saints sort of just rise from the shadows, and they've formed a formidable team.
They have. Look, they're a great team. I picked them last year. They let me down.
So what are you going to do this year?
No, I'm staying with them. I've stayed with them the whole time, and I've stuck with them from the get-go, from round one. I just think they're most probably the dominant team. It's pretty hard to stop Jane and Erin, Peggy Shallard. You know, they got that mix of youth and experience. And in saying that, so is Rovers, but I just think they're stronger all over the court. Jane Costello is interesting. I'm not quite sure I think she played the other night, but very interesting if Jane plays, because she's an absolute gun. Used to be a former VNL player as well. Really strengthens that team up. But I think really looking forward for the contest with Maddie Davis and Joan O'Donoghue. I think that'll be really exciting, and I can't wait to watch this game.
If Maryborough if they were going to win, what's the area that's going to get them done? Get them over the line? I mean, they have to play a really good team effort across the board, but their defence is really going to have to sharpen up.
Yeah, well, it's got to be full court defence and just apply pressure. But
I think you mentioned something before, though. They need to probably lift their goal percentage by about 5%, and that's probably going to be key.
Yeah, and the only thing, and it's most probably from a coach's point of view, I'd look at their list, and Trentham's list, they've got lots of young kids.
Yep.
And I would be applying pressure to those young kids and trying to get them to throw some ball out the court, you know. And I know that might sound nice, but that's coaching.
It is a weakness.
That's the tactic that you do. I don't know if it's a weakness because they're so good.
Yep, and they're quick.
And it depends if they can hold on to that pressure. I think they can. I think they've got the ability to do that. They've gone through the whole season, hardly pushed at all. I think they might have had a 1 goal. Someone might have got close to 1 or 2 goals, I think.
A couple of goals.
But we know finals are a different team, a different thing, and teams can lift in finals, and this could be Rovers' opportunity. But yeah, I can't wait. There's some superstars in both teams, let's face it, and I think they both deserve to be there. You know, what a result to have 1 and 2 finish in the grand final, and that's our system works.
Exactly, it's worked out beautifully. It has been a great home and away season into the final season, where Trentham had top spots sewed up for quite a while, but all the other teams, there was a lot of juggling around. I'm
not jumping off. Tim will be happy. I'm not jumping off the Trentham bandwagon. I think Trentham will win this game.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. There's a lot of good cases for Maryborough Rovers to get the win, but Trentham's they've had the flawless season. I think I'm going to go on a limb and say it's almost theirs to lose, because they would have been stung from last year's loss to Navarre, and they've taken every game like it's a grand final.
If you're a brave man or woman to pick against a team that hasn't been beaten.
Exactly, but it can happen in grand finals. But
it can happen.
But not.
It can happen, and it's actually devastating when it does happen. But I don't think it's going to happen to Trentham. I've just got that much faith in them. As I said, I've stuck with them. But you know, you just look at some of Rovers players, like Matty Davis, got to be one of my favourite players as well. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I think Trentham will do it. The
stage is set for an epic A-grade grand final in netball in the MCDFNL. Kim, thanks so much for joining us. It's been absolutely outstanding and great insight, and we look forward to a great game on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, thanks to everyone. It's been a great season. Loved it, and should be. Hopefully, it's going to be a wild and woolly old day, Chris. So let's warm up, get your beanies on, and let's see some great netball.